And we're back. Welcome back to the Euro Prediction Series and welcome to the first episode of the last 16. Now this tournament gets serious and now hopefully it gets even better. It's been a phenomenal tournament so far and I honestly think it can only get better from here. It has been so good. What we are going to be doing is still uploading daily for this series. So that means we're going to have 2 predictions today for the 2 matches being played today, then 2 predictions tomorrow, 2 predictions on Monday, and then 2 predictions on Tuesday, covering all of the last 16 games, 1 day at a time. But before we get into it, as always, if you haven't done so already, please do consider dropping a like on this video and subscribing to the channel if you're new around here. We are, of course, still covering all of our Copa America videos. Those are being uploaded at 4 p.m. every day, and we're doing pretty well on that series as well, so make sure you check that one out. Available for you on the channel as well. And a quick reminder to fantasy football fans before we get into it as well, you still have time to make your changes to your fantasy football team. You have a free wildcard available to you for the fantasy football. Don't forget to check out my short that I posted earlier this week regarding how you should do that. And without any further ado, let's get into it. The last 16 of the Euro starts today, and we start off with an absolute cracker. It is Switzerland against Italy in the opening game of the last 16. And the reason why I say this one's a cracker is because genuinely I don't know which way this is going to go. The Swiss have been very good in this tournament so far. The Italians have arguably got very lucky in this tournament so far, but both teams are still pretty damn solid defensively. The question marks are going to be over the offenses. Now, in my opinion, I think the Swiss have looked better going forward than the Italians so far. However, without any shadow of a doubt in my mind, Donnarumma has been Italy's best player and he has been immense, and I can definitely see Donnarumma playing a massive part in this game, potentially seeing it going all the way to penalties, where you just know that Donnarumma is going to have the last say, as he did in the last Euros, sadly, at England's expense. For me, it's really tough to split this because it all depends really on how the Swiss approach it. Obviously, you look at that performance that we saw from the Swiss against Germany, where they played themselves deep and tried to get the 1-0 win, and if it wasn't for that Füllkrug equaliser, they would have got that 1-0 win playing that style of play. Against an Italian side that hasn't really been showing too much forward progression so far in this tournament, it'd be really interesting to see how that dynamic plays out. Will Italy just look at them and go, will Switzerland just look at Italy and go, do you know what, we can probably just beat them and go for it themselves, or will they just continue to sort of play the way they've been playing, keeping the possession, creating their chances when the opportunities seem right? Really tough to call this. I was tempted to go for a 0-0. However, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And like I said at the start, I'm going to go for Italy in extra time or penalties. I just have a feeling it's going to be Donnarumma's day today. And I really think Italy are just going to edge it. But if it's going to be decided in 90 minutes, honestly, I would say Switzerland over Italy. But I just have this feeling this one's going deep. The first game of the last 16. There's going to be games that go extra time and penalties over the next 4 days. And I think we could see it as early as the first game. So I'm going for a 1-1 draw. And I'm going for Italy in extra time or penalties. The evening game then sees the hosts Germany taking on Denmark. Germany, of course, topping their group due to that last-minute equaliser from Füllkrug against Switzerland. The big question surrounding them is, will Füllkrug now start ahead of Kai Havertz after that poll in the German press where 92% of German fans, I think it was like 200,000 surveyed, said that Füllkrug should start over Havertz. So that's a bit of an ouch for Havertz. As for Denmark, obviously, we've seen a lot of them as England fans because they were in our group, and quite frankly, Denmark haven't been amazing. Like, let's not get it twisted. They've got themselves to this position by just sort of bumbling their way through. Yes, they played well against England, but they didn't really do anything too crazy other than score the one long shot. They didn't look impressive in either of their other 2 matches, whereas Germany have looked fantastic in their opening 2 games, but then came up against the Swiss side who seem to have them figured out. So very interesting to see how this one goes. Denmark will be looking at that Switzerland performance and be going, well, if we play like that, we might be able to get something from this. However, I think the Germans will be looking to bounce back from what was a disappointing performance against Switzerland. I would expect Füllkrug to make the start, and I think he'll make a massive difference if he does come in from the off. I'm going to go for 3-1 to Germany. I was very tempted to go for 2-1 to Germany, but the beauty of knockout football is once a side goes ahead, it really is difficult for that other side that is then losing to still continue to sort of sit back and then wait until the very end of the game to try and push for an equaliser. It's not league football. You can't just go for a draw. You can push for extra time if you can, but eventually you're going to have to go for it. And I just have this feeling that Germany are going to go ahead. Denmark, as I said, I think they're capable of getting a goal. I think Germany defensively haven't looked particularly good in this tournament. And I think with the likes of, again, Højlund, Wind, Eriksson, Højbjerg, they've looked pretty damn decent. The fullbacks, wingbacks coming around the outside, they've still looked dangerous, Denmark. So I still think they have the players and the tools to hurt Germany. But I think the German players are going to show their class again today. And ultimately, I think they're going to end up winning it. And like I say, I was tempted to go for 2-1. But I think if Germany do get 2-1 ahead, unless it's in like the last minute, I then see Denmark overcommitting and then Germany getting themselves a third. So that's the way I see it. I'm going to go for 3-1 for Germany. So my actual predictions for the day, the two sides I've got going through to the quarterfinals are going to be Italy and Germany from today's matches. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Genuinely, I could see a scenario where Switzerland and Denmark do get through. Certainly Switzerland. I think Switzerland have a very good chance of getting past Italy today. But I think it would be a bit of an upset, especially with Germany being the host nation, if Denmark do overturn Germany today. But that's just the way I see it. As I say, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching. As always, don't forget to check out my Copa America prediction video coming out at 4 p.m. today. And then we'll be back once again tomorrow morning for the second day of the last 16, where we'll have to talk about it. We'll have to talk about it eventually. It'll be time for England. I'll see you there.